Hello. Today, we will be learning about Fullerton, a city rich in history and culture. Nestled in the heart of Orange County, California, and home to over 140,000 residents, Fullerton's story is a tapestry woven with a diversity of threads, starting from its Native American roots to Spanish colonization to agricultural development and to its modern development that it is today. Now, let's go ahead and explore Fullerton's early beginnings to the vibrant community that it is today. Hope you guys enjoy. Long before European settlers arrived, the land that is now Fullerton was inhabited by the Tonga people. They lived in harmony with the land and used its resources for their daily needs. Their culture and traditions laid the foundation for the region's rich heritage. Fun fact about the Tonga people, not only were they the main tribe in this area, but they actually had a span of over 4,000 square miles that went as far as to the coast of Catalina Island, to San Clemente, to parts of Orange County, and to all over Los Angeles. In the late 18th century, what was known as the 1769 Portola Expedition, Spanish explorers and missionaries arrived in California. Fullerton became part of a vast Rancho San Juan Cajon de Santa Ana, granted to Juan Pacifico Ontiveros in 1837 by the Mexican government. The Tonga people that inhabited this area were then referred to as the Gabrielinos, named after the mission San Gabriel. The Tonga villages near the mission were called rancherias, which means little ranches. The ranchos that the Spanish held were very large and were used for cattle grazing and agriculture, marking the beginning of Fullerton's agricultural roots. In 1887, two brothers named George and Edward Amerige purchased 430 acres of land from Juan Pacifico Ontiveros with the vision of creating a new community. They named it Fullerton, after George H. Fullerton, the president of the Pacific Land and Improvement Company. They named it after Mr. Fullerton because not too long before the two brothers, Mr. Fullerton was tasked with finding suitable land for the railroad's right-of-way for the California Central Railroad. The town's establishment coincided with the arrival of the railroad, which played an integral role in Fullerton's growth. And on July 5th, 1887, Edward Amerige created a landmark and town site by driving a stake into a mustard field at what is now the corner of Harbor Boulevard and Commonwealth Avenue. And after a 185-44 vote on February 15, 1904, the city officially became incorporated. And right after that, they would have their first mayor, being Charles C. Chapman. Now, one thing here about California is the soil is very rich, and Fullerton is no exception. Due to that and its favorable climate, it made it an ideal location for agriculture. During the 1920s, the city's agriculture changed dramatically. It went from its natural green and gold fields of wild mustard seed into cultivated citrus groves, mostly oranges, of course, but it did include other crops such as walnuts and avocados. Now, these crops became the backbone of Fullerton's economy. This attracted more settlers and eventually fostered a growth of community. During this time, Fullerton also saw an economic boom through oil production. Oil wells were scattered all throughout the landscape and, believe it or not, coexisted with the livestock of cattle and farms. All the way up to 1950, nearly 40% of all the city's revenue came from oil production. By this time, in the 50s, Fullerton had reached around 14,000 residents. Now, this city really started to see a dramatic growth in population following World War II. During this time, hundreds of thousands of Americans migrated to California, and many trickled into Orange County. And this led them to also go into Fullerton. And by the year 1957, three major institutions started their roots in Fullerton. You might have heard of them. One of them is St. Jude's Hospital, the other one is Hughes Aircraft Company, and the last is Cal State Fullerton. These organizations were and still are major employers till this day, and would make Fullerton a formidable economic powerhouse. And by the year 1970, there were roughly 86,000 Fullerton inhabitants, a huge increase from years prior. Now, switching over to education, this has always been a cornerstone of Fullerton's development. Fullerton College was opened in 1913 and is the oldest community college in continuous operation in all of California. And in 1957, Cal State Fullerton was created, thus becoming the 12th state college in California to be authorized by legislature. Now, the university hosts many fascinating landmarks and artifacts, two of which are the Arboretum and George Crook Clark's original home. I know, guys, a lot of Georges in this story, so just bear with me. The Arboretum has botanical gardens and various species of different plants and trees. It remains a beautiful and peaceful slice of Mother Nature that anyone can enjoy. George Crook was Fullerton's pioneer physician, and he had his house built way back in 1894, but it was moved to Cal State Fullerton in 1972, where the students restored it. The city's commitment extends to its rich culture, which is reflected in its vibrant art scenes. With numerous theaters, galleries, and events, it lacks no charm. One of these events is actually held every week during the summer. This is their downtown farmers market. Here, not only can you get fresh local produce and goods, but also have an awesome time. You could also eat delicious foods and even listen to live music. Fullerton is even home to the famous Fox Theater. Built in 1925, it was originally known as Chapman's Elysian Court Theater, and was the only place back in the day to watch a flick. At the time, those were silent, of course. And the original name came from C. Stanley Chapman's wife, Alice. From its humble beginnings of Native American land to its modern day development, Fullerton is a testament to its resilience and its vision of the people. It truly is a place where past and present coexist that creates a vibrant and unique atmosphere. I definitely recommend you guys visit it someday. Thank you for watching this video, and have a great one.